Hi everyone, 27th of November, it's 28 minutes to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I thought I'd do a quick update on the markets. It's been crazy. I mean, it's the 27th of November 2017. Now, if I went back 6 months ago, my complete video and the information that I'll be putting out would be completely different. However, the one trend that is very apparent is that this market is going up, up, up. And this doesn't seem to be stopping. Now, the reality is, as I've done this video, we've just hit $300 billion market cap. Now, literally 2 months ago, it had a bottom out at, I think, 62 billion or something like that. That's what it feels like. July, August, September, October. We're talking 4 months. So it's gone 5 times in regards to market cap. It's gone $100 billion just in the last 10 days, less than 10 days. It's gone from 200 billion to 300 billion. As you can see here, we're into the third wave. So we've got 1, 2, 3 of this wave based on 2017. Obviously the market's been going for a while, but there's this huge spike going on, and the altcoins have finally come alive as well. So I suppose the major altcoins like Dash, Ethereum's had a little bit of a run. There's been a couple of the others. Monero's had a bit of a run. Even LITECOIN has been showing a bit of positivity in the last week or so, literally last week. And it's been, again, it's hard to predict what's going on. I mean, I was talking about having a correction, and I did realise that I did think that the third wave is going to be a lot bigger. The altcoins seem to have plateaued there for a while. I just wasn't sure because Bitcoin has just been surging, and sometimes we expect Bitcoin to pull back a little bit. And if we were going to measure the distance, the time, and this is just reading graphs, I mean, all it is speculating. You could say, okay, 3 months there, 3 months there, less than that, so about 2 months, and then there'd be a retrace. However, this has gone a little bit longer, and we've seen a lot more money enter the space. Now, the reality is CME, so the Bitcoin futures is, I think, launching on the 4th of December. I don't know if that really means too much in regards to the market, unless they're going to do some sort of worldwide massive fix on the 5th of December. I mean, it's highly possible if the futures come on, and, you know, who knows? I mean, there's a very highly manipulated market. $100 billion coming into the space is a pretty scary thought. I mean, even thinking about having $100 billion is just ridiculous, really. So obviously the big boys are at play. I think a lot of people, mainstream adoption starting. You know, there's a lot more people talking about it in offices, and I'm hearing it more in the gym, and people coming up and asking me, and my friends hitting me on Facebook, how do I get started? What do I have to do? And a lot of people still don't understand what it is. And I keep saying it's not Bitcoin, it's not cryptocurrencies, it's digital assets. It's blockchain is a evolving technology that's going to provide a diverse array of positive attributes to the existing internet that we have. Everything from cybersecurity, everything from encryption and privacy. There's no doubt that the Internet of Things, I just did a video on that, you know, allowing applications to have faster transactions. So look at it as the capacity to send information from one place to another in a faster highway, which will allow more people to be able to integrate into an application faster or more at the same time. So that's why, as a currency and as financial services, it makes a lot of sense. Anywhere where there's applications, so, you know, social media, there's talk about the ticketing companies, the events where they're trying to pull back on encryption. Oh, sorry, they're pulling back on scalping of tickets and things like that. So securing data and information, and even data storage, and there's all sorts of different things that are happening in the space. And that's what is going to evolving. We're looking at Internet 2. It's an easy way of explaining it to your friends. And yes, it does involve finances and the financial markets, but where's it going to go from here? If I was going to draw a graph, regardless of these little bumps here in the road, now anyone that was in early in May and July and August, we felt these because the market cap was a lot smaller. And the retraces and the drops in Bitcoin really affected our portfolios a lot more aggressively. Now, whenever anything goes up like this is a very, very vertical line. You've got to remember it's going to come back. Something's got to give. There's got to be a moment, even if it's a couple of billion. When I say a couple of billion, 50 billion, 100 billion, I'll probably say that these moments are going to be shorter. I think over the next year or so we might see some of these dips of 50 billion, but there's so much more money coming in. There's going to be an exponential amount of money flow in 2018. And if anything, there definitely will be some bumps in the road, but I think once we hit 2019, 2020, there'll probably be a big market adjustment of some sort. I would think someone who's got a couple of $100 billion invested decides to do something else. They might move it out of the market for a couple of weeks. Who knows? I mean, that's what normally happens with markets. They can't just keep going up. So I'm expecting before Christmas some sort of pullback. Whether it's 100 billion or 50 billion, whether it lasts a day or 2 days or a week or a month, I'm not sure. I'm thinking that, that I've watched the market recover in as fast as 6 hours, 8 hours. Bitcoin drops, $400 or $500 and we all think, oh, here we go, here's a retrace. And within 5-6 hours, it's back to where it was. And that's what we've seen. The retrace of June, July took about 3 months. This one here. This one was a lot shorter. However, the alts seemed to go horizontal there, which got a lot of people a bit worried. We weren't sure what was going on, even though Bitcoin just does what it does. It's going to keep going, and this is just the start of it. Times this by 10. That's how, this graph is, I can't even fit it onto my screen here. It's going to go literally north. By the time of 2020, I'm going to look back at these videos and probably be embarrassed about what I'm saying, although I think the underlying premise here is that it's not going to stop. And I think the big thing I want to talk about is supply and demand. We're talking about basic economics. So what I've seen is a lot of coins that have the millions or say under 50 billion coin supply in the last month or the last 10 days have really taken off. The Dashes have only got 8 million. The Bitcoin and the Bitcoin Cash has only got 16 million. Available at the moment, and their cap's at 21 million. And I went through the top 400 coins, and there's a whole heap that I hadn't even seen before, and some of them might have 100,000 coins or 8 million coins or whatever it is, and they're all in 3 digits. A lot of them are. There's a couple that I've identified that don't. I'm not going to necessarily share those because I don't want to give any advice or give people a bit of hype. You can go and work those out for yourself. You've got to do your due diligence, but that's what I'm seeing. The coins that are in the billions, so the Digibytes, the Bitshares, the EOSs, even EOS is starting to show some amazing strength in the last, or even just today, as I watched it, I think it went up $1. Just crazy stuff. It's up to $3.24 Australian, obviously whatever that is in US. It's just rising aggressively. A lot of money is going into the alternative coins now. The top 50 are really cementing themselves, and I think this will still change. A lot of positive talk about OMG and obviously EOS and NEO still got lots of development to go. Bitcoin Cash is trolling the Bitcoin community and trying to get as much attention as possible and trying to divert attention and loyalty to Bitcoin Cash, and I think that's just gamemanship. I think Bitcoin is king. It will be king and it will remain king for the entire space for the next 10 years. It has something dramatic would have to happen, and I just can't see that happening. It's just the peg, it's the gold, it's the thing that holds all of this together. There is no need to swing to another cryptocurrency in regards to exchanges and things like that. So anyone that's talking like that, I think is just delusional. I think you could say that about any of these cryptos and say, why isn't Ethereum the peg? Or how about EOS? We'll make EOS or NEO the peg. And that's the reality. I think there's going to be options and choices down the track, but Bitcoin will hold its throne or its rightful top of the ladder position. So Christmas, I would expect a pullback. I really would. I think for the reason, this whole space I do believe is manipulated to the sense that this was always part of the plan, was to get the world looking at the digital assets or the blockchain, and I think you're going to find that it's going to continually be pumped at different stages. There'll be a few little takes, and especially when mainstream comes in, I think you'll see that they'll do some real big deliberate pumps just to get more attention especially in 2018, because that's the year the new financial system is going to come into place. There's going to be a disruption. Don't take your eye off gold and silver. I think it's going to have its moment at the back end of next year, and we'll see what that brings. And I'm not too sure totally what the disruption will mean. It might be seamless, and I think there's going to be a lot of distraction with government and Hollywood and North Korea and all that rubbish. It's all rubbish, and it all comes back to the financial markets. Property, gold, silver, the big issues with debt, what they're going to do with that. The big boys are going to try to make as much money as they can and get as much transfer of wealth. And I think they're trying to get as many people into digital assets and moving away from property, gold and silver. I think I hear some of the gold and silver bugs saying sell your gold and silver. I'd actually, this is not financial advice, but I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm not doing that. I'm holding on to my gold and silver. It's real. Even if it doesn't move, it has to move. And it will move at some stage in the next couple of years to a new market level. That's just inevitable. I think silver will always be used for industrial. I think gold will have its place at the top of the ladder. That's just how it is. And, you know, whoever owns all the gold rules the world type of analogy. And I think anyone that is in crypto, it's very exciting. There is a lot of money to be made. I think there's going to be a lot of new millionaires and billionaires built in the next 12 months. Those who are not in it need to get in it to a degree. You need to go do your research, but I'd be acting now. And don't forget about real life things. I mean, this is just finances. The world's not just about finance. It's about living your life to the fullest. I mean, for me, I've got projects. I want to contribute to society with my coaching, and I want to set up a coaching facility. So, and I've got other things. I want to create a blockchain, and I've got all the different things that I want to do. But, you know, this takes money and investment, and we can't get away from that, and that's why I'm chasing this, so I can actually contribute to society a little bit more than what I can at the moment, as best as I can. So that's all I've got. Scary and exciting at the same time. Look at this spike. It could double, could triple. If it gets through to November, who knows what could happen. It could come up to this lady up here with her special little shorts. It's got nothing to do with me, by the way. It just happens to be on the page here. But yeah, look, it's just an amazing time to be invested in cryptocurrencies. Be mindful of the pullback. If you are telling your friends to get involved, sometimes you've got to tread with caution, because the reality is this is a market all-time high. And if you're buying now, you have the risk, or you are at the risk of buying at the moment the market decides to turn. So that's why you've got to tell your friends about this chart and tell them the risks of buying at this stage. But there's also the potential for it to keep going. But if they have a 2-year plan, like if you got someone to buy here and they hated you for 6 months, because they bought, there's a massive retracement, you'll probably find they're actually liking you right now. So, and I've had that happen to a couple of people. I'm very cautious about how I express myself in regards to cryptocurrencies, and I think a lot of it just comes down to these videos and having people self-explore this space themselves, and they can make their own decisions. So there's never any implication for financial advice, although I'm excited by it, and I'm watching people do really well around me, and I think you've got to take a leap of faith. So yeah, so let me know what you think in the video YouTube comments. What are we expecting here? Is it going to come plummeting down, or is this going to triple, double? Is Christmas and the holiday period going to make a dent in this? Is, people going to pull out money to buy presents and things? Is that actually reality here, or are we seeing institutional money that's just going to stay and stick and hold onto these coins based on supply and demand, and the fact that you can't produce any more than 21 million, and that type of scenario? So normal economics is coming in, which we haven't seen before. Crypto fiat currencies and bonds and stock markets, they just keep producing more shares and printing more money, and there hasn't been that scarcity as such, and as we have seen in cryptocurrencies, and I keep coming back to that supply and demand. Thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, look, be diligent, and do your research, and yeah, just enjoy this whole space, and tune into my next video. Thanks.